friends, and welcome back to the show. Happy Wednesday to you, and happy May the 4th. Today is such a big day. I know Greg's got some amazing tech news to share with us, and I'm, of course, going to keep you on top of all things business, finance. And, we're just so happy to be here with you. As you know, so much of In the Loop is about you, the audience member, telling us where you're joining us from. So do me a favor, actually jump in here. Let us know where you're from, and we'll see what platform you're on. Thank you so much for making the time, and a big welcome to you, Greg. In the Loop, we're back. How cool is that?
We're back. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It is indeed May the 4th. I had to bring out my really nerdy Darth Vader helmet, complete with sounds that probably won't come through on here, but it's the appropriate day for it, if any is. So thank you, seriously, everybody, for being here. It is always fun to be on the show. In case you don't know, I'm Greg Nibbler, longtime tech reporter, and we have some fun stuff to talk about today because it is May the 4th, Star Wars Day. I decided to kind of theme the tech around that a bit. So you'll see that when we get out here in just a little bit. But as always, we start off here with Winnie telling us what is going on in the world of finances, which is a never-ending job to keep track of. Always appreciate how we start off this show.
Thank you, Greg. You are so kind. I'm actually super excited about the tech that you're going to be sharing us today because I know there's some big ones in there. Well, welcome back, everybody. I am Winnie Sun, as Greg said, and I'm a longtime financial pro, CNBC Council member, Forbes contributor, and here with you. We are in for a treat. But most importantly, I think you're going to really like how the market closed today. I almost feel like, like we need that Darth Vader that sound again, Greg, because this is kind of exciting. The Dow closed up 932 points today, almost 1,000 points there. The NASDAQ up also 401 points, and the S&P up 124 points as well. So across the board, triple positive day, and not just positive, but very, very positive, in fact. So why did the stock market do so well? Well, part of it was because, as we talked about yesterday, all eyes continue to be on the Fed. And the Fed did certainly increase interest rates. They sure did. But something tells me it was actually good news. And that it was because the Fed increased interest rates by 50 basis points, or in other words, 0.5%. But that's been widely expected. In fact, we expect 0.5% raise this month, and another 0.5% coming next month. But what we were we're a little bit concerned about, we've been talking about earlier this week, is the fear of if the Fed was just too aggressive with rates and made tightening too quickly, that it could potentially take the U.S. economy into recession territory. Well, interesting enough, they must have heard those comments on social media and whatnot, because they certainly took a very clear stance today. Chairman Jerome Powell said they're ruling out getting even more aggressive on Fed's inflation fighting campaign. In fact, he added that right now they're definitely continue to be looking at current levels, but that a 75 basis point or 0.75% raise is not even something that the committee is actively considering. So investors nationwide definitely took a breather there. We felt like we dodged a bullet. And so you're seeing that positivity being reflected into the financial markets today. So, we'll take the good days when we can get them. I don't know, maybe it's because it's May 4th and they knew that Greg was bringing us pretty awesome tech. What do you think, Greg?
I'm sure that's exactly what it was. As usual, it was my influence over this to make that happen. But yeah, that's great to hear some good news. I mean, it seems like we have not had a lot, so that's fantastic.
Yeah. So how do we want to do this, Greg? Do we want to do our fun May the 4th trivia? Do you want to do tech? How would you like to do it?
I think we should start off with some trivia here, since it is, May the 4th. We got the Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Obi-Wan trailer came out today. Maybe we start off with some trivia. I'm a little bit nervous, though, because I do watch a lot of Star Wars. I am not the world's foremost expert on some of the trivia, but I feel like I have to bring it here for this. But everybody else can join in as well. I want to see what everybody else's answers are. But yeah, Curtis, I know, prepared us some trivia. I think maybe we should do that first.
Okay, I'm so glad that I got this role, and that means I get to ask the questions.
Oh, man. Okay. All right.
Because this is definitely not my area of expertise. If we want to do Warren Buffett trivia, maybe I'd be your girl. Okay, so first question would be this: who is the young Jedi Knight who becomes Darth Vader?
Okay, well, this I do know, but I want to see what other people guess.
Let's see what you get. And I see a lot. We have a lot of friends joining us today. We want to see, Vicky is saying Vicky, what do you think? I think Greg needs help on this one. I absolutely have no clue. Actually, I kind of do know because I have the answer in front of me. Thank you, Curtis, for that. Vicky is
Got
giving you a
D.
solid, solid
Ben Solo.
D, C.
Anakin Skywalker. Okay, seeing some guests come in there. I know this one, so I feel pretty comfortable here that it is C, Anakin Skywalker. I mean, I do have Darth Vader sitting here right next to me. I feel like I kind of have to know that one.
Okay, so let's just say that Joshua won also because Joshua got it right. CrossX Fighter is joining us from YouTube Live. Great to have you here with us. Vicky is joining us from Facebook Live. Carlos is from YouTube Live as well. Wow, so many friends today. I see you. I will see you. I see a lot of comments coming in too. So yeah, Greg, I guess you got one right. It is Anakin Skywalker. Woo,
all right. Starting off good.
Okay, good. I feel like you need to like rub the helmet, like for good luck, I can hear it's actually kind of okay. So this is the second question, and by the way, I just want to tell you, Curtis has given this a medium rating, which the first question was an easy rating. This is a medium rating.
Okay, we're stepping it up a notch. All
Step
right.
it up.
Okay.
And this is which is the first original theatrical Star Wars movie where Jabba the Hutt is seen?
I feel like there could be a trick in here because I know they remastered some things and may have put him in an older movie. I've got to think about this for a second. I will ask anybody out there who wants to join in. I mean, I know off the top of my head, I think I know, but this could be a trick question. Okay,
so Carlos like jumped in on this. Now, Carlos, is this answer? You're answering C. Are you answering for this one or the one that we just did? So Carlos was saying C, but I'm not sure if he's saying the first. Oh no, wait, Carlos picked D. He changed his answer. He said pick D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're throwing me off there with that, Carlos, because this is what I can't remember on the remaster stuff where they put extra people in because I've only seen those like once or twice. Okay. Somebody said B, A New Hope. So did they put him in A New Hope? They bring him back in there.
D.
All right. I'm going to go with what I think it is, which would be at least the original would be. Oh, or is it?
I got this one right.
I'm gonna go D, Return of the Jedi, and I'm gonna feel real bad if I get this wrong.
Well, Greg, I'm gonna say that I actually got this right, and I'm really proud of that fact. And Vicky and Carlos, I'm gonna tell you why. Is because it was the only one on the list that I recognize, and that's why when you study for tests, they tell you always to pick the one that you think. Right. But you are absolutely right, Greg. 2 for 2, Return of the Jedi. And by the way, whoever prepped my answer for didn't put D. So I had to find the answer. But it is actually absolutely D. I love it. I love the list. Okay, great. All right. So we get a second medium question. You ready for this one?
Okay, we'll find out. I'm sweating it over the last one.
This one is a fun one. All right, I see Dr. Michelle Ty, by the way, who is a legend in the hospital. She's with us too. So let's see. Hello. Let's see if she knows her Star Wars trivia. It's great to have you here with us. Let's do it. All right. So this is I love this question. I'm challenging, really inspired this question, and that is, what is Baby Yoda's real name? I actually know this one too. I actually know more Star Wars trivia than I give myself credit for. I think it's having 3 boys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Baby Yoda, I'm sure is pretty popular.
Very popular in my house.
I do know. I want to see what other people say. These answers, though, the trick answers are pretty good.
Don't be Googling this, okay? Come on.
Yeah. So if anybody does, I mean,
George,
if you watch The Mandalorian. Yeah, George, of course.
It's George. It's Greg.
I thought it was Frank, but okay, Frank is not on there, so that's definitely not it. B, we're seeing Dooku. Okay, from Vicky. A, CrossX Fighter. Yeah. Definitely great trick answers there, but I know the answer to this one.
Me too. All right, Greg, bring it.
It is a Grogu.
That's right. Grogu it sure is.
Is Baby Yoda's name.
Pretty good. I mean,
I still call him Baby Yoda anyway, but yes,
I do. I feel like you gotta call him Baby Yoda because it's actually so much cuter because he is like a baby and he's a Yoda.
Yeah,
I mean, Grogu almost sounds like the tree, the one that dances.
Yeah, it's close enough to Greg that I can remember it pretty easily, but yeah, it does kind of seem like something.
What is that tree's name? The tree that dances in the other movie?
The tree that dances.
The tree that dances.
I'm trying to. Uh,
The tree that dances.
oh, you're talking about Groot.
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 Yeah. See, it
Yes.
doesn't sound Groot.
Oh yeah, Grogu and Groot. Yeah, that'd be a duo.
Groot.
They've got to funny
Groot
team up for
and
that for
Grogu.
sure.
That's true, right?
Groot and
That's sort
Grogu.
of
Say that 10 times fast before we start the show every time.
exactly. I mean, these are priorities. But yeah, Greg,
Oh,
good job. 3 out of
thank you.
3. And everybody can
I made it. I survived, and
I feel like you represent us well today.
well, good. Well, so since it is May the 4th, and we talk about tech here on the show, I thought I would do something and put together a little bit of a combo of some technology that's in Star Wars and show some real life examples of how it's actually coming true. Because one of my favorite things about any kind of sci-fi is seeing what they come up with. And then a lot of times, you know, eventually some of that stuff does actually happen. And we're seeing real world examples of so much tech from Star Wars. I kind of put together 5 different ones to showcase that and give the example from Star Wars and then show how it's actually happening. And the first one is droids. So droids, as we all know, you know, prolific throughout Star Wars. Here is an example of an actual droid, and you've probably seen this video, but I believe this is kind of the start of the future C-3PO. He's already faster than C-3PO. But this is from Boston Dynamics, in case you haven't ever seen this. This is a real video of the Atlas robot that they are putting together, and that is it, doing parkour all around this course that they've got set up autonomously. I mean, it's crazy what they're coming up with, but this feels like this really is the start of droids.
Absolutely. I mean, talk about some pretty impressive PE skills there, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
impressive,
I mean,
and intimidating at the same time.
You're right. But how cool would this be? I feel like George Lucas could really do some damage in some movies with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, and much more mobile than R2-D2. So I feel like, you know, it's a bit of an advancement already that we've got there. I always did wonder with R2-D2. I'm like, you know, he really can't. What's going to happen on the stairs? It takes a long time for him to get up those. This would not have a problem. So this is the Atlas robot from Boston Dynamics, but showcasing some of that in real life.
I feel like cool. It's a next level stormtrooper too, you know.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is totally. This is a stormtrooper, a clone trooper. That's the other aspect of what they could be. But that's what we've got there. So androids, yeah, it's, you know, you put in some artificial intelligence in here. That is where we're at. We've got some droids right there with Boston Dynamics. So a real world example. Now I've got some other ones here of some different things. So one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars, and I think for everybody, is when you have the hologram of Princess Leia. That is a you know, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's always just this iconic scene from all the Star Wars. And so I was trying to see, when are we going to have holograms? When will we have actual holograms? Because we've seen some things before, like holographic Tupac. I'm sure everybody remembers that when he was on the stage. That actually wasn't a hologram. That's just some kind of trickery that you could do to make it look like a hologram. But we're starting to get to where we actually do have real holograms that will appear completely 3D, no matter how you look at it. And that's what I wanted to highlight next. So this is from a company called Lightfield Lab. And this is what they're working on. It's what it is a really specific kind of display. And this display is far, far more powerful than anything that we've probably ever seen. So I want to give an example. A 4K TV, standard 4K TV, has 8.2 million pixels in it, right? The things that are making the color. This panel would have 2.5 billion pixels. So that gives it a lot more ability to really showcase some dynamic stuff. And the way it does it is it can actually make it really appear 3D, completely looking like a complete hologram right in front of you. And this is what they're working on right now. They're looking at it for, you know, office things, maybe inner office like this. They're sitting there 2 different places working on that, or you have something completely 3D in front of you as you're building or engineering, and also even a museum where they have the Tyrannosaurus Rex. But this is real technology that is actually happening, where I believe, you know, eventually, we're not there yet to where we can hologram ourselves into another room, but we're getting close, and that's pretty much an example of it right there.
Very, very cool.
See a T-Rex come out from the wall like that. That would be pretty amazing.
That would be so amazing. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we love to see. I know he showed this to us before, but it's always so amazing to see.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think it was last October is when this first was revealed, but wanted to bring it back up just because that's always one of those, you know, the Princess Leia help me Obi-Wan thing is just so iconic that this is
It is so iconic. I know. I see Carlos loving it. I see Vicky's comments. Great. Yeah. Joshua is saying androids. I think androids were the last one. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you.
So that's two. I've got three more.
Okay.
Three more examples. And here is a field that I've talked about quite a bit that I'm a really, really big fan of, and that is any kind of medical technology that's advancing things. Well, and if you do get your arm cut off by a lightsaber, like Luke Skywalker, spoilers, they have the robotic arm, the bionic arm that they attach back onto him. And we are getting closer and closer to having that kind of technology really be a reality. So this is an example right here. And this is kind of a put together example of how this would work. This is from the Cleveland Clinic. And it really is working as a bionic arm that allows you to think to use it. So this would work with an implant into your brain for electrodes in order to get those signals. But when you think about it, the arm would actually move and be able to operate just like a real arm. And it's one of the most advanced ones that I've seen out there. And this is a pretty recent one, which is why I wanted to bring it up. A lot of companies, are working towards this, but this is really, really cool. So it's making this prosthetic an actual closer and closer to an actual replacement to your real arm. So I think that we're not that far out. I mean, we're not to Luke Skywalker level yet, but this kind of technology, as it advances, this really could be that.
Absolutely. This is technology for the greater good. I think we can all agree we want to see more of this.
Yes, absolutely. And, it's probably going to end up being better than a regular arm. So then there's a whole other discussion there.
Yeah, it'll be like bionic. It can move everything that you can't normally lift with a regular human arm.
Right. Just lifting a car up over your head. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we're getting to. So, or maybe an extendo, like an Inspector Gadget. I'd be down with that too.
Like a firefighter. How handy would that be?
Right. I mean, and I'm short, so this would be an easy way to get to like top of things, have my extendo arm come out.
See, Greg, we didn't know that when on camera.
I mean, never mind. Everybody, I'm assuming, knows.
I'm 6'9" today.
My other job is in the NBA. That's what I do right now. All right. So we got that. So we got bionic arms. And then there's two more I wanted to bring up. And we've seen a lot of examples of this too. But the speeder bikes in Return of the Jedi I think that's when they first debut, are one of the coolest things ever. I remember as a kid, I had a speeder bike toy. I just thought how cool that would be to zip around, hovering off the ground in between trees. I would probably crash. Still really cool. Well, we're getting closer to that. So we've got a few examples that are out there, but this is one I don't think I've actually shown here on the show before. Cool. Yeah, so this is from a company called ALI Technologies. They're out of Japan, and then this specific vehicle is called the X-Turismo. And that is what we're looking. So this is kind of an example right here. There's a lot of renderings of what it will look like, but they do have some demonstrations too of how it would actually work. So it really is getting closer and closer to an actual speeder bike, which they're looking at these for maybe races. So there's one right there. It's kind of like a drone attached to a jet ski. It's kind of what it looks like, but it can hold up to 200 pounds. And this thing is actually pretty powerful. So it's 660 pounds. So it's quite heavy. It is right. And it's 12 feet from tip to tail, 8 feet wide by 5 feet high. I'm just getting the stats here for it. And it can fly up to 40 minutes at speeds of up to 62 miles an hour. Wow. 62 miles an hour for 40 minutes. That's really impressive.
That's so impressive. I could totally see Curtis have that thing parked in the parking lot of college and then him scooting on that to his class. He'd be like the coolest kid at school for sure.
Yes.
Curtis, yes. I'm guessing you're loving this idea, Curtis. I'm Curtis, like, sign me up. And think about it. That's pretty impressive because if the vehicle itself is 600 pounds and it can carry up to 200 pounds, that means 800 pounds, but probably means it can carry like 1,000 pounds, can lift that nimbly. That's impressive.
Yeah, pretty cool. So those things, I believe the pre-sale they have that you can join in. They're looking at next year because that's actually when Japan is going to be approving these kind of vehicles for I guess roadways or cool. At least completely approved. So it's going to be expensive to start, about $680,000 to start off. So not a cheap one, but still pretty cool. And that is what we're looking at there for the speed bike. And I've got the final one, and this is the one that I feel like is the gimme anytime you talk about Star Wars. We all want to see this. We're close, but not quite there. And I'm talking about the lightsaber. obviously. A
Obviously.
lightsaber, just the idea of it is cool. Again, everybody would hurt themselves. There are really great replicas out there, but the question is, do we get a real one? Yes and no. Disney came out with an example. This was from last year at one of their events. I think it was talking about Galaxy's Edge. Maybe it was the year before, where they did this, and that looks like an actual lightsaber. So this was a demonstration. It, of course, is not an actual blade that's going to cut through things. Still pretty cool tech, though, because that blade is actually, that's not special effects. That is actually coming up out of the hilt like that. And the secret behind it is basically rollable lights, rollable LED lights that are extending up on this system to keep it in place. There's a cap on the end of it, but you can't really see that. That is some pretty cool tech. Tech-wise, that's awesome.
So cool. I would take 3 of those. Each of my kids has been wanting one of those things. Are they selling this thing?
They are not selling it yet. So they debuted it. It's probably going to be used for special effects and probably some things at Galaxy's Edge at the actual at Disneyland to start off with. But it's Disney, so if it works well, they're going to sell that.
Yeah, Vicky wants one too. See?
Yes. Oh, I 100%.
Let's make sure that's not. Let's make sure that's not $680,000 there.
Yeah, I don't know how much that's going to be yet. We'll have to wait to find out till it does.
I think it's got to be under $100. All right, it's got to be reasonable, because if you're going to sell at theme parks and your cruise ships, Disney, you got to make sure the masses can get their hands on it.
Yeah, definitely. So that's one example of some tech that looks like it. Now, there are some other groups out there who have created something similar to a lightsaber using basically a giant blowtorch, and turn it into something that you can cut. And there's footage of that. It's proprietary, so I didn't want to bring it up, but people should definitely look that up. Just look up real lightsaber, and you can see that. It's kind of intimidating. That would definitely hurt you, that one. There's also some really great replicas out there, though, from companies like there's one here in Oregon called Saber Forge.
Oh, cool.
They make replica lightsabers. They're at all the con events and comic events. They're pretty cool. So we're not quite there, though, with the tech, but at least we're getting closer to something that acts like it, that you can actually press the button and have it pop up like that.
Yeah, it just looks so cool. I was thinking, Greg, it'd be like retractable plastic, like because my kids, I know they have the fake ones where they sort of they wing it and it sort of comes out, but doesn't glow or anything like that. Doesn't make any noise. But yeah, I mean, if it could like retract, right, and have the light go up, I think that would be a definitely win, Disney. I can see everybody wanting one of those.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a patent in for it, so they've already filed all of that, and you can actually look it up if anybody wants to look up the mechanics of how it really works. So there's a bunch of things out there. Yeah,
if you want one, yeah.
There we go. So these are the guys who created one essentially using a blowtorch. So Hacksmith Industries. If you ever want to take a look at some, if you ever want to take a look at some really cool tech, they take a look at what's in movies, what's in films, and then they make it and or try to make it as close as they can. And that's some of the things that they come up with. Now that is very dangerous. What he's got.
Looks so dangerous.
And you will definitely hurt yourself with that. So don't try that at home.
But it looks so cool.
But it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Yeah. Hacksmith Industries. Very, very cool website. I like pretty much all their stuff. So check that out.
That looks so dangerous. You drop it.
So dangerous. I would hurt myself right away with that. I would trip. There's just no way.
Yeah, there's just way too scary.
Yeah.
but I imagine Elon has one of those in his backyard.
Probably. Yeah, Elon probably does have one. But yeah, so there we go. Those are some different examples of technology for celebrating Star Wars here and everything that is happening on May the 4th. I am so looking forward to Obi-Wan. The trailer looks great, but that doesn't come out till later this month. However, you can still watch all the Disney stuff on Disney Plus, so it's all there, all the Star Wars, and that's probably what I'm going to do a little bit later today.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what we plan to do too. Very, very fun. Want to just say a shout out, Christian on YouTube Live. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Janine, oh, I miss you, is joining us from LinkedIn Live. It is amazing to have you with us. She's a very, very active podcaster. She runs an awesome podcast program. Love that. Vicky, great to see you as well. Wow, such a great group. So many friends today. Thank you so much for joining us. And Greg, you brought it. You delivered. We talked about this last week, and I knew you would, but I feel like you even exceeded that. So thank you so much for all that you do. And thank you so much, Curtis, for bringing us that trivia too. You rock it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for joining us here every week. It's always so much fun. And as always, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Send us a message, whatever platform you're on. The messages are always open. So let us know if you have something cool that you've seen, if you have questions about tech or anything at all, just feel free to reach out. We just appreciate it so much. And I appreciate Winnie so much, this show. It's always so much fun. And I know we'll have something amazing for next week too. So make sure you follow us so you get the notification when we go live. And
Yes.
Happy Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars. So we'll be back on Wednesday next week. But the one thing I want to say is before you all jump off, one thing that I would love to hear you do, if you could, I want you to tell me your favorite Star Wars character, okay? And let's see which of them matches up with Greg's favorite Star Wars. So just do me a favor and do that. Take a moment. Put in comments wherever you're joining us. Let us know your favorite Star Wars character, and whoever matches up with Greg, we're gonna do something fun here.
Okay.
All right. I know I didn't tell you about this, Greg.
I
just
know.
About it right now. The reason is because we had this massive tweet chat, Greg, and today we celebrated May the 4th on our tweet chat. And we did all this like fun Star Wars trivia, and it got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, we could carry that into our show with the loop. So
definitely.
For those of you who are still here with us, tell us who is your favorite Star Wars character. Vicky is Princess Leia. Okay, I'm guessing, Greg, is your favorite character Princess Leia?
Leia and
Leia,
as I'm doing my nerd.
I like Leia.
She is definitely up there. Princess Leia is classic. I wouldn't say my favorite character.
Okay.
If I had to choose.
Rey and Darth Vader.
Those are Cross-X fighters, Rey and Darth Vader. So you've got two favorite characters.
Two favorites, yes.
Yeah, it's very hard to narrow down. It's very hard to narrow down.
Very hard. Those are two really winning ones. All right. Well, I feel like the answers are still coming in. So we're going to let you continue to go ahead and jot those answers in. Continue on. If you're watching on this replay too, go ahead and let us know in comments who your favorite Star Wars character is. And then when you come back next week, we're going to tell you who Greg picked, who actually was his choice. And we're going to figure out which of you actually match up with Greg. Right? Sound good?
That sounds great. And it may not be as obvious as it seems. So I'm just going to say that.
Okay, awesome. We'll take it. And with that, definitely join us again next week. It's going to be a treat. We got a lot of fun stuff scheduled for you. And of course, like Greg mentioned, we appreciate you. And if you want to reach out to us for any reason at all, we are here from you. So catch us again next Wednesday. Tell a friend. We would love to see you very soon. Take care now.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.